Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nick Pappas. I'm coming to you from Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm very excited about today's and tonight's Zoom. So before I start, let me tell you what we're all about. The company is called New Age, and we've been looking for you. We've been looking for you. And if you, like most of us, that wants to feel better, have more energy, maybe even lose some weight, you want to even reduce some inflammation, better sleep, lose weight, look better, want more energy, you've come to the right place. Because our company is known as the Opportunity Company. And why? Because we have a whole lot of companies in one, and we call it the global house of brands. There's brands like Slenderize, which I'll tell you about a little bit later, Limu, Hero, Lucem, Purity, Nutrify, so much more. The good thing about our products is they go through a strict, stringent certification process. So we are FDA approved. Our products are gluten-free, lactose-free. There's no GMOs. You even get a money-back guarantee, and it's approved by the sports trust associations. So just imagine what's coming to South Africa and Africa. It's already been going on for 10 years all over the world, very big in Europe and America. And the good thing with us is we have seen all the tests, we have seen all the testimonials that have happened around the world, and South Africa, it's your turn. So basically, what we do is we redirect your spend. And what does that mean? That means that, sorry guys, let me just sort that. That means that what we do is we just give you the products, we sell you the products, well, not sell you, we offer you products that are tried, tested, and a class on its own. So I'm going to go through a couple of lines. I just lost my little thing there, but I'm going to go through a couple of lines, guys. And the first one is what we call our skinny drops, Slenderized, our magic drops, wonder drops. I've personally tried this. It's produced the results. It's drops you put under your tongue. It's day-night drops. It works twice faster than a normal diet. It's clinically proven, and doctors have recommended this. Another product is our Giving Greens. 2 scoops of this equals 900 grams of veggie servings. Those with kids that don't want their vegetables, you give them 2 scoops of this, that's them done. They'll have their vitamins, their minerals, their prebiotics, their probiotics. It'll boost their immunity. And we all know in today's day and age, this product is a winner. Our elite contains collagen, superior vitamins, anti-aging products. It's good for anxiety. It's an antidepressant. Those that suffer from menopause, your skin, your eyesight, this product with the testimonials that come with it has actually done the trick. And then we have the mother of all. This one contains 36 superfoods and fruits combined in a low glycemic formula. It supports your digestive system. Those that like to gym and exercise and all that, a sachet of this after gym replaces all the energies that you have lost, that your body has lost, and you can go through the day no problem. I love this saying. I love this quote: take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Now, that to me resonates a lot because with a pandemic that's going on around the world, everybody's looking at their health. Everybody wants to be healthy. Everybody wants to boost their immune systems. And we're coming into Africa at the right time, and you are at the right place. So let me tell you a bit about who we are, who the company is. The New Age head office is in Denver, Colorado. The Oryx head office is in Utah. We ended off last year with a turnover of plus minus $550 million. And in fact, last night we got the 29th place in the top 100 direct selling companies in the world. That's a great achievement. So we went from 2019, we ended it with a turnover of 245 million, and in a year we doubled it to 499 million. Now you can see where we're coming from. And on top of all of that, we're only a startup company. Not many people know us. Not many people know about us. So just imagine what the future holds. Okay. In 75 countries, soon to be 76. South Africa is about to launch. We're a couple of weeks away. We're very excited. I'm very excited. And those that are guests on this call tonight, I want you to understand that you are being presented an opportunity that comes once in a lifetime. So I'm going to give you a couple of testimonials here before I introduce my special guest with me tonight. The first one being me. This is my picture, before and after. So the top one is me and my twin brother. We all stuck together there, all in one head. That was me before in March 2020 last year. And then I went on to the slenderized drops. And in 5 months, I decided to tell my naughty brother to go away. And that was me. I lost 12 kilos in 5 months, and I did cheat. And that is just on our product. So just think about the quality of the product and what happens. This is not a diet. This is a lifestyle change. Another team member of ours, Carmen Fieldgate, she went on Slenderize in November 2020, and in March, up to March, she lost 5 kilos. There's the befores and afters. And then this story is a story that I always tell. I'm fascinated with this story. The 3 people that you see in the picture there is all one person. So this particular person is one of the top leaders actually in New Age today. She's a qualified doctor. She was a successful doctor. And when she decided one day that, you know, this is not the life she wants. She was overweight. She was doing well in her business, but it wasn't good enough. So she got all of our products and she went on to the skinny drops. And in 18 months, she lost 73 kilograms. 73 kilograms. That's a human being. So today she closed her practice. In fact, she closed the practice. And from doing very well, she's a 7-figure earner today in our business. So there you go. That's the opportunity that we actually give to people. Now, this particular gentleman here, I've become very friendly with. In my year at New Age, I've been in network marketing for 6 years, and TODD Roland has been in network marketing for 20 plus years. Comes with vast experience. His Zooms on Saturday afternoons are actually, in fact, my favorite Zooms. The guys know when I advertise his Zooms, it's not the editor's choice, it's Nick's choice. As I said, it was the first Zooms that I actually went on when we merged with Oryx last year, and then eventually with New Age. And I learned a lot of Todd's Zooms. And Todd doesn't have less than 250 people on his Zooms on Saturdays. He doesn't have less than 250 people. And I like Todd's Zooms. Why? Because I get to hear what's coming before most of South Africa does. Okay, except for Erica that stays in Colorado. She hears it before anybody because she's closer. So anyway, so I love those Zooms. I love Todd's Zooms. He's got a lovely personality, and I asked Todd to get on our Zoom today, and tell us about his story. You know, Todd, we have a lot of new people in the network marketing industry on the Zoom tonight, and I'd like you to tell us your journey, how you started, and where you're from. Over to you, Todd.
Okay, thank you, Coach Nick. Awesome to be with you guys. Good evening to everyone in South Africa and in Nigeria. And I think we have some chiming in over here in the middle of the day in the United States also. But Nick, I could not be more happy for you, for Erica, for all the South Africans and Nigerians that are beginning their journey here. It's not the easiest time to be a part of our company in your part of the world. We're not even officially open there yet. You're still waiting on your products to go live. You're still waiting on your offices to open up. All of those things can seem like hindrances or roadblocks. And I'm sure you will have people that won't make it actually even to the getting started gate. I have found that we as humans universally across the world want better, but we as humans universally across the world often will find the quickest excuse to keep from doing better. It didn't work yesterday. So what I want to encourage everybody in your part of the world is that we're hearing over here June 1st possibility of an official open there. I've learned in business, my 20 years over here, that always be conservative in your thoughts. So let's say July 1st and hope that it's June 1st. But when it does open up, for those of you that are laying the groundwork, doing the work, even when it opens, it still won't be exactly right. We're actually still rating here in the United States for a little better shipping, a little better online experience. Things can always get better. But what I found is that when everything gets perfect, like there's no more complaints, the opportunity that moment shifts somewhat. And the ones that were working when there were a ton of complaints seem to find wealth because they laid the foundation. When things get perfect, the growth curve goes from like this to it goes straight north. We're not anywhere in the world on a straight north curve. Maybe Europe is beginning that northward curve. I think maybe about a year ago, Europe overall was doing about 1 million a month in sales. Today, actually last week, I think they did slightly over 6 million a week in sales. That's 6 times growth over the course of 12 months. And what you want to look at is your own personal business and your own country doing the exact same thing. So whatever your growth curve is now, you kind of look at it, you keep building, and a year down the road, you want to look back and see maybe 5, 6 times growth. So today, if you have 20 people in your business in a year, maybe you have 120 people in your business. But if you can keep that growth curve going in our type of business over the course of 3, 4 years, 120 doesn't go to 180. 120 grows 6 times over again. So now 120 goes to like 700, 800. And then that third year, 700, 800 doesn't grow by 700, 800 again. It goes 6 times again. So 800 times 6, all of a sudden you have 5,000 independent business owners in your organization alone. And that begins to create a residual income for you that sets you free. It's hard to see that in the beginning. It's hard to see that when you have 5 people in your business and 4 won't return your phone call, or you have 12 people in your business and 11 of them have turned off an auto ship. You're like, is this ever going to work for me? I will just tell you, it works for everybody that runs the course. I have seen some very, very talented people, Nick, work this business hard for 6 or 7, 8 months, get frustrated and quit and miss their opportunity. I've seen other people with very little talent. They're really not great speakers. They're having to develop their people skills along the way. They don't have enormous credibility. They don't have a large contact list of people to call, but they have this tenacity to improve their life that no obstacle can get in their way. They want better. They want out of debt. They want a new house. They want their spouse to quit having to work so hard. They want time freedom. They want to travel the world. They want things that they're not going to get anywhere else. I always tell people, although people quit our business, very seldom do they quit our business and get the dreams they had for the moment they joined our business. They just quit their dreams is what they do. So I encourage you, if you're over there in the new emerging markets and you're just out there, wondering, is it, number one, right now, you're still wondering, are we even going to get officially open? I will just tell you, I've watched the movie now for 8 years. I remember, I'll give you this briefly, Nick, but I remember Maybe about 6 years ago, I met a guy from Portugal. Portugal is a little bitty country off the coast of Spain. We won a trip to the Dominican Republic. He had no success. He'd already been in the company like 3 years. I don't think as a matter of fact, I know he was spending more money than he was making. But he just kept working and working. And he met this guy. It wasn't somebody he even knew. He met him through Facebook somehow. I can't remember the exact story, but this guy was in England and got involved and just took off. Well, this guy in England ended up, somebody in his organization signed up this girl in France, who I think is like our number 2 or 3 money earner. This girl in France now makes like $3 million a year. Then the girl in France led to somebody in Italy, which is our fastest growing country overall. That's about a 5-year span I just told you about. But now going back to this guy in Portugal, that he and I were hanging out in the Dominican Republic, and he was complaining because he was spending more money than he was making, but he was not going to quit under any circumstance. Probably today, I don't know exactly, but I would think his matching check alone is probably $400,000 to $500,000 a year, because he's overriding $6 million in weekly sales in Europe right now, because all of the growth over there sprung from that single organization. And there were so many people. As a matter of fact, the guy in England, his name was James Lavelle. He quickly shot to one of our very top money earners, and you very seldom hear his name anymore. It's the new people that took off and really caught foothold. So, Erica, I know you and Nick and the whole team over there. I know that you've had to wade through obstacles, and it seems like, is it ever going to really happen? But I will assure you it will. And what you don't want to do, if you're new over there, is quit before it takes off. You don't want me to be telling the story about hopping on a Zoom with this guy named Nick, and he was working really hard, but all of a sudden 3 years later, South Africa is now doing 10 million a week, but Nick's not around anymore to take advantage of it. It's one of my good friends, Ken Bailey, has this joke all the time. It says, the first bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. You don't want the second mouse to get your cheese. You want to take advantage of it and go build something. And Nick, I know you asked me to tell my story, but what I just told you is my story. It just in a different realm. I started here. I was a coach just like you, Nick. I coach football. You coach football. It's just 2 different sports, depending on what part of the world you're in. But we both call it football. We even spell it differently, but we're both coaches. We're coaching young men, and it's fun. And but I wanted better in life, and I found this industry, and all the obstacles that everybody on this Zoom is facing, I was facing. And as a matter of fact, I probably quit the business mentally 20 times the first 2 years. I quit my job to do it full time way too early, and scared to death. I had at the time 3 young children. My wife did not have a job. We had no savings. My check started going backwards after I went full time. I was just petrified. And it's probably was my secret to success, is that I don't ever encourage somebody to do this, but I burned my boat. As a matter of fact, it went to ashes and sunk to the bottom of the ocean. I had no boat to go back to. And I just, with a crazy, crazy burning fire to save my family, my face, my reputation, I just worked 16 hours a day. I just was relentless for 3, 4, 5 years. And somewhere along the 5-year mark into the industry, those numbers I was describing that are taking place in Europe today and other places began to happen in my own personal business. Just came out of nowhere. I still can't explain it to this day. I know how it happens now because I've watched the movie repeat itself multiple times for multiple people in my own business. You just got to get numbers compounding on your side. But anyway, I'm inspired by everybody over in Africa. I cannot wait to meet everyone in person on a trip over there. Actually, when I was in the Marines 20 plus years ago, I spent time in Nigeria and Liberia, which are their bordering countries there. But I worked with the Nigerian forces over there, loved them. And I cannot wait to come to South Africa and meet you guys in person. I'm a little, although I live in the ocean, I'm a little nervous about your great white shark stories we see all the time off your coast, but I'm getting in the ocean there no matter what, just to say that I did.
We'll take you white shark diving. Don't worry. We'll go. We'll go. That's an amazing story. Thank you, Todd. It was great. I want to ask you a question. Your Zooms that you have on Saturday, well, our time, Saturday afternoon, why or how did you get it to to reach the numbers that it reaches. I mean, I've never ever seen your Zooms less than 250 people. I've seen it at 350 people even. How did you, it's yours and Chris's normal Zoom on a Saturday afternoon. How did you get it to those numbers? Because we want to do it here.
Yeah, I think there's two secrets. One is consistency over time. Those Zooms 4 and 5, 6 years ago averaged between 20 and 40 people every Saturday. And then a year or two in, it became 60 to 80. And now we're 5 years in and it's averaging 250. But the second piece of it is we try to incorporate everybody in as equals, leaders that are on and off our team. So that's been very beneficial. And I've noticed, I know that Erica was kind of the one that got things started over there, but I've noticed you guys also work together very well. I know Anthony comes in, and you'll just find that your own team grows, other people begin to support you, their teams begin to support you, and it just becomes a multiplier effect at a time.
No, that's excellent. So we're on the right track. We're on the right track.
You're on the right track. Yes, sir.
And then one more question, Todd. And I really appreciate you coming onto this call with us. The question I want to ask you is, what was your worst experience? Not your best, your worst experience. So that if it happens to us, we know how to deal with it in network marketing.
Nick, this is business. And there's a lot of bad experiences. There have been through the years, people that I grow very close to friendship wise that don't make it long term. And I hate because they're not in my life out here working. They're still in my life, but just not out here working. That's always hard. There are cities and towns that I pour a lot of resources into, my own money, flying there, doing consistent meetings that again, don't make it. But my worst experience, Nick, and I almost hesitate to say it because I never want anybody to have any doubt in their mind. And it's the very reason I chose this company. I choose people, not companies. And Mark Wilson, Fred Cooper, Deanna Latson, Jeff Yates, Riley, now to be Brent Willis. But in the day I chose the company, those guys, I chose this company after a previous company went out of business. I really sacrificed about a decade of my life and built $150,000 a month residual income. Very large. I don't know how dollars transfer in y'all's minds, but it was a way more than $1 million a year, and it was residual income. And I had retired at the beach, and I'll never forget it. I was in New Orleans at the Super Bowl. It was 2012 Baltimore Ravens, San Francisco 49ers Super Bowl, and we were staying at the hotel with the players. And I got a call that morning that our company had gone out of business. And I was like, how does it go out of business? What happened? And so what I always tell people is a residual income is only as good as the company's ability to pay it from now on. And I found out when the company didn't have the ability to pay my residual income, I didn't have residual income anymore. And although I had saved and done well, that's a very large income that you're counting on for in your life that it didn't stop over time. It stopped in a day. And so my worst experience was spending a decade in this industry and having a company leave me. But I always say I'm a Christian, and I just believe God always has a master plan, and all of our journey is a learning journey, and you can pout and cry, or you can learn what you need to learn and move forward. So when I always tell people the industry found me the first time, the multi-level marketing industry. But the second time myself, along with people you've seen on Zooms, Aaron Decker, Chris Dull, Ken Bailey, they had all made millions in that company too. And we went in search to find the perfect company, a company that would be here, what I like to call a legacy company, that if Coach Nick Pappas goes and builds a business, that business is going to be paying his kids and then one day his grandkids because of something he did. You can't leave a child or a grandchild a job. Most of us in America, I don't know the South African economy as well as I do this one, but in America, 7 in 10 people do not leave their kids an inheritance anymore. They leave them debt to figure out how to get rid of in our country. So my job in my mind is to build this check really large and leave my kids and my grandkids especially a upstart in life, because sometimes when you have the money to go to college without student loans and you have a little seed money to start a business, the chances of success are greater. And that's what we're trying to do here. And the great thing about our company is that it's not going to go anywhere. You know, I'm a God-fearing man, and I believe I can't predict the sun rises tomorrow, but I'll tell you, as far as business goes and our industry, we are the best long-term company in the industry without a doubt. So no matter what you have to go through getting things open there in the continent of Africa, it will be painful at times opening up a new market. I know I've been in companies in the beginning, but I will tell you that if you fight through it and you build your part, that it's going to follow you from now on. So the worst thing that ever happened to me, Nick, is a company left me. But simultaneously, within 6 months, the best thing that ever happened to me is I found a company that was way better. I would have never met you, Nick, because we were never going to open up South Africa in that company. We were very limited geographically. So maybe the greatest thing is, Nick, we're going to have a relationship and travel the world together.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And that's it. You know, what do they say? You know, in this business, friends become family, isn't it? Friends become family. And
that's correct.
And that is what I love about the business as well. You know, at the end of the day, you got to love what you do. You got to have fun. Got to have fun with what you're doing. And also one thing that I must mention that our company has that other companies don't have is our Bill of Rights. And our Bill of Rights is something, and maybe you can touch on that, Todd, as a final. But tell us about the Bill of Rights. So let's hear it from you.
Yes, Coach Nick, that was a part of us choosing New Age, is that, you know, it doesn't matter what they tell you if it can change. That's my favorite sentence to tell anybody that's in another company. They tell me, well, my compensation plan is the best in the world. I'll say, I doubt it. We pay 50% of every dollar out. I don't know how a company can pay much more than that and stay in business. But if you say so, the next question I have for them, can you guarantee that that compensation plan will still be there a decade from now? Do you have anything in your policy procedure guaranteeing you they can't change the compensation plan? And Nick, I will tell you, I've been on the Partners Council here for 5+ years, and I go through that once a month meeting when they're trying to get things approved. So every country has a Partners Council. North America does. Now Mexico even has their own. Europe has one. You guys will have a Partners Council in Africa as soon as you get launched there. So every time the company makes any decision that could affect us in the field, launch date of a product, what product we rather than spend money on developing, anything, it has to go get approved by every Partners Council on every continent before they could actually launch it with the company. And I've seen some really important things that I think could really help our business. And it takes 6 months to a year to even get it implemented, because it takes time to get the China Partners Council and the Japan Partners Council and the North American to all agree upon something. But that slowness of bringing things to the market, although it could be something that was my ideal, and I think it'd be the greatest thing yesterday, I love it because no emotional decisions can be made. Nothing can be made to rock the boat. They're not going to change the compensation plan. As a matter of fact, they have something in that Bill of Rights, Nick, that if the policy and procedure manual ever did change, maybe they felt there was something that had to change from a legal standpoint or something else, you have the ability to remain with the policy and procedure manual you signed up with, even if it were to change. So just a fantastic company if you're here for the long term. It's a real business. Nothing's going to fall from the sky. I'm not saying you can't make 10,000 next month if you're brand new. It can happen, but likely not going to. It's likely going to be like most small businesses. It's going to take you a couple of months to get a foundation built and then start the rise. But I don't know when the time frame is in each particular business, whether it's a year in, 2 years in, 3 years in, but somewhere along the rise, the right combination of people show up and we turn due north. And I've watched paychecks over and over and over in this company go from a couple $1,000s a month to a couple $20,000 a month, literally in a 12-month time frame. It just goes straight north when the right combination shows up.
That is absolutely awesome. And Todd, thank you so much. Really, you've given us a lot of nuggets today. And that is what I was hoping for. And you know what, Erica, I'm going to bring you in if you want to unmute yourself, because I'm sure Erica will want to ask something. But so Erica is another top leader in South Africa, and got the floor, Erica, if you want to ask. With
Oh,
pleasure.
shame. Well, thanks for that, Nick, and thank you, Nick, for putting the Zoom together. What an informative Zoom. Todd, thank you for sharing your wealth of wisdom with the people of Africa. Todd, I've had the pleasure and the honor of meeting you and hearing a bit of your story. And one of the things that, you know, we're all people, we all have a story, right? Todd, when you started in the industry, when you decided to say yes, fear is such a real thing for people. Can you talk a bit about your farmhouse that you started at, and what role did fear play? How did you overcome the fear when you started out?
Yes, Erica, I think we have a bit in common. I've heard your story that Tammy actually approached you for some time before you agreed to actually look at it and join the company. And it was the same on my side. My dad, I was a football coach I lived about 5 hours away from where my dad lived. My dad had done well in business. He was a CPA, certified public accountant. That's how we do our taxes over here. But one of his clients brought a network marketing company to him, and he asked me to go and look at it with him. I went, I saw the presentation. I was not skeptical. That was not the reason I didn't join. I just had I later learned very classic excuses. One was I did not have the money to join. And number two, I did not have any time to put into it. I was so busy. We had won what's called the state championship here the year before. And it's really good that you win it, but it also creates enormous pressure to do it again. So there was really never a off time in my world. We coached at a very large school, and many days I worked 16 hours a day. I had a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old at the time. So we had our 1 and 2-year-old was 11 months apart. So I didn't get to see them enough. My wife was already having to do the entire house by herself. So I was like, there is no way I could bring something else into my life. And I did it, Erica. I walked away. Several months passed by. And my dad called me randomly one day and said, Todd, if you will do this, your mom and I will pay your way in the company. So my dad and I kind of have a unique relationship where he's done a lot of things for me, but he always expects something in return. So I knew if he paid my way in the company and I did not do anything, I would hear about it every Thanksgiving and Christmas for the rest of my life. So I just began to work it consistently. Nothing special. I made no time for it, but I would grab another coach on the football field. I would sometimes a kid's parents that I had a good relationship with, I'd say, hey, I want to show you something, see what you think about it. And I just began to trickle. If I remember correctly, no money the first 3 months, but I didn't really think about quitting because I really wasn't even working it yet. I was still just kind of piddling. But month 3, 4, and 5, I signed up somebody who led to a fireman in that town. And he kind of took off working it. And my paycheck went like $400, $600. And then the next month it went to $2,300. And Erica, a $2,300 paycheck at that time frame of my life was life. I mean, I'm talking about life changing. I was living below paycheck to paycheck. So we're talking about, we bought a new grill. We went out to eat. I paid off a small little credit card. And it just became like an obsession. This is good. I want more of it. And I began to work very hard, and our paychecks began to go northward. But school let out, and I decided not to go back the next year. And about the time I decided not to go back, my paychecks actually started coming back down. And Erica, it was the most scared I've ever been in my life. That was I just didn't give the details, but I was sharing that when I was talking to Nick just a second ago. Is that when my paycheck started coming backwards on me after I'd quit my job, I was just petrified. So I really think my success in the industry is because I just worked it so hard out of fear because I didn't want to let my wife and kids down. I mean, I didn't want to go bankrupt and do those things. So my ship was burned. I probably could have got another coaching job, but in my mind, after I can't quit and go retract in a month and not quit. So it was very difficult. But Eric, I just want to say, you're always so humble around your whole team. And Great meeting you. I know why you're having such success. Nick, you're always the same thing. You're so kind and you're so humble when you hop on our Zooms and helping us out. So I just know that you guys and your teams, as you get the continent opened up and really up and moving, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, you're just going to look backwards and say, I cannot believe what we've created.
Yeah, we say.
Oh, thank you for that, Todd. Thank you. Thank you, Nick. I just wanted people to know that we are real people with real stories, but we have dreams, we have visions, we have ideas. We want to provide for our families, you guys. We are all the same, whether you're in Kenya, whether you are in Nigeria, South Africa, Namibia, Lesotho, the USA, Canada. We are all the same. And if you're listening to this Opportunity Zoom wondering if maybe this is a vehicle that you can use, I want to tell you it most probably is. And we are inviting you to say yes, just the power of yes. And we will teach you and show you how. Nick, thank you for having me. I'm going to mute now and I'm handing it back to you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Todd. Really, really humbled, appreciated. I'm going to call on you again. Don't think you're going to get away from it. I'll get you again. And then we're going to go shark diving when you come. That I'm going to do for you. No problem. Right. So I'm just going to, thanks again, Todd. I'm just going to share my screen again, guys. And we're nearly done. Okay. So why New Age Oryx? We're one of the fastest growing network marketing companies in the world. As you can see, I mentioned last night, we were voted top 29 out of 100. And last year we were 35. This year, top 29. We projected in the next 3 years to be top 5. Top 5. So just picture that, imagine that. Those that are new, those that are still thinking about it, we're going places. So in our business, you're a real business partner, right? There's 8 different ways you earn in our business. I'm not going to go through any of that. All our products are 100% natural. The support structure in this business, you saw it tonight. We can call them in from anywhere in the world, and they will be right next to us to help us. The entire business is built on your phone and or your computer. And the greatest thing of everything is pre-launch. We are new in Africa, and you are the first. What does it cost to join at the moment? We've got a pre-launch offer. There's no charge. There's no sign-up fee. Absolutely nothing. We want you to get involved, get on the team, lock your spots, and position yourself so when we launch, you've been trained. You'll know what we're all about. And we can go out there and make a difference to people's lives. So what's next? Each one of you that is still thinking about what you want to do, you are one of these three categories. You're ready, and you want us to sign you up, okay? And you'll figure out everything later. Or you're excited, but you need a little bit more information, or the timing is not good, but you'll try the products. So what I say is, the person that invited you to this call tonight, get back to him, let him answer all your uncertain questions. And if they can't, one of the leaders will gladly help and sort that out. But we want you on our team. And I just want to remind you guys that on Thursday, we're going to have another opportunity Zoom, also at 8 o'clock. You're welcome to bring as many guests as you want onto that Zoom. The notices will be posted onto the various social media platforms and WhatsApp groups. So we'll see you on that Zoom. And I'm going to end with this quote by Richard Branson. If somebody offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, just say yes and learn how to do it later. It's as easy as that. So welcome to the family. Thank you very much, everybody. You can unmute yourselves. You can unmute yourselves and say good night. And I'm going to say thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Mama Ava.
Thank you so much. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you all so much.
Thanks, Anthony.
Bye, you guys.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Love you from Nigeria.
Love you.
Nice.